Hey, what's going on, True Fam? Welcome back to the channel. It's Whiteshadow, and today we're going to be talking about what x264 is and why it's so important to your streams. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So guys, the big question that a lot of streamers ask is, what is x264, what does it mean, and why is it important for your streaming? Well, in this video, we're going to break down what x264 is and why it's so important for the technical side of your stream when you're encoding the stream going back out to Twitch, Mixer, Facebook Live, whatever your streaming platform may be. So I'm going to read the definition to what x264 is and then kind of explain in this video why it's so important and how you're going to be able to utilize your CPU in order to encode your stream and what kind of CPU it's going to really take to encode a stream. So let's go ahead and read the definition of what x264 is. x264 is an open source library developed by Videoland to allow video streams to be encoded into the MPEG-4 AVC or H.264 format. This was released under the terms of the GNU, which is the General Public License. X264 can also be availed under the commercial license from X264 LLC or Core Codec. So basically, in the easiest terms possible, X264 is basically a streaming encoder that will take whatever your video feed is and then encode it into an MPEG-4 format so you can actually live stream to Twitch, to their servers, or to Mixer servers, whatever. Now, x264 is a very important piece to streaming. x264 is what helps encode your stream, and that's all handled by your processor. You do need some decent processing power to encode an x264 stream, which we've probably seen in OBS, which we're going to take a look at here in just a second. Now, there are other forms of encoding. There is also QuickSync, NVENC, which is Nvidia, and there's AMD OpenGL. The most common two that most streamers use is NVENC or x264. x264 is the most stable and the best of all of them. QuickSync uses Intel's built-in GPU. NVENC uses your graphics card GPU if you have Nvidia, and OpenGL uses AMD. The most stable of all of those is x264 and is probably the best for everything, with one caveat. With the recent RTX series launch, the tensor cores on the RTX 20 series, that's the 2080 Ti, the 2080, and the 2070, are able to encode just as good as an x264 on a CPU. So keep that in mind. If you have a Nvidia RTX card, you can use NVENC. It will use the tensor cores and it will have a very stable encoding process. Let's go ahead and jump over to OBS so I can explain what each CPU preset does. Okay guys, we've gone ahead and switched over to OBS. This is also going to translate for SLOBS, XSplit, whatever. So when you go into any of your respective streaming software here, you're going to see an output tab right here on the sidebar. What we're going to focus on is, of course, the encoder. So as you can see here, I have NVENC, which is the Nvidia encoder, and x264. I don't really ever use the NVENC encoder simply because if I'm gaming and streaming at the same time, NVENC is trying to encode a 720p 60 frames per second stream and play a game at 60 frames per second as well. And it's just going to be a buggy mess. So we offload all of the encoding onto the processor and split the process between the GPU and the CPU. So x264 is our encoder of choice here. If you see at the bottom, you have CPU usage preset. Higher equals less CPU. So the higher we go, which is ultra fast, you're using less of your CPU power. The lower you go, if I go down to placebo, or very slow, slower, etc., that is going to use more of your processing power at the cost of performance. So you have to find the perfect balance of everything. Now, what all of this means is how good of a quality is it going to encode? Is it going to cut corners? Is it going to it's all how the information is kind of displayed to your stream. You want to find the perfect balance of using as much performance as your processor can allot, also while encoding other things like a game and things of that sort. So what I use for my Ryzen 7 1700 is the faster CPU preset. This offers a pretty good balance between decent quality and decent performance at the same time. But what each one of these things do is this. If I go all the way down to placebo, it's going to look just like it looks like on my OBS screen. If I go all the way up to ultra fast, it's going to look a little bit grainy. The CPU usage preset basically smooths everything out when it hits that server to Twitch. So you want, like I said, you want to kind of figure out the best balance of everything. Depending on your processor, if you don't have an 8-core 16-threaded processor like I do, so you have a Core i5, you are going to want to put this bad boy on ultra fast. And the reason why, if you're trying to play a game on the same system and stream at the same time, you're going to run into performance issues simply because you don't have enough cores to encode a faster preset. Like it says there, CPU usage preset higher equals less CPU power. Like I said earlier, you want to find the best balance between the two, meaning whatever processor you have, you want to try to find the balance of everything. Most of the time nowadays, if you are streaming to Twitch, Mixer, Facebook Live, whatever, the recommended processor that you're going to want to use is at least 6 cores, 12 threads of processing power. The reason why is because that gives you enough headroom to encode a decent CPU usage preset, have a good quality stream, and it's going to look aesthetically pleasing for your viewers. If you're streaming off of a quad-core i5, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have the best viewing experience. For me personally, if I am recommending somebody to go out and purchase a processor, I'm going to tell them to buy bare minimum a Ryzen 6 1600 or 1600X. You can go out and get a 6-core Intel i5, but it doesn't have enough CPU headroom with the extra threads and other processing power to really encode a stream and play a game at the same time. So be careful when you hear this term 6-core thrown around. You want to make sure it has a multi-threaded process, because that multi-threaded process allows it to help encode your game and your stream and still have enough headroom to do background processes as well. With everything being said, 6-core, 12-threaded processor or higher will allow you to do very fast, faster, or fast on the CPU usage preset. That's very important because it's going to produce a decent quality going back out to Twitch. This is also true when it comes to recording stuff as well. So keep that in mind for everybody that likes to record their streams and encode their stream at the same time. So guys, that about wraps it up for this video. I hope this helps some of you guys understand what x264 actually does to help encode your stream, and I hope this helps kind of clear things up when it comes to selecting that preset depending on what your system settings and performance would be. But guys, like I said, that about does it for the video. If you guys like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button before you guys leave today. I would super appreciate it. If you guys want to follow myself or TRUgaming on any of our social medias, be sure to check those links out in the description below and come hang out with me on stream sometime. Let's talk tech. Maybe I can walk you through some OBS settings while we are live, and just come hang out and play video games. But until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Whiteshadow out.